here today. And thank you for being so much on time. This is wonderful. Great start. So we are very happy to be working together with the World Food Program on climate resilient agriculture, with a particular focus on women and young farmers. Our project state is in Assam. This is the second of a series of 3 symposiums. And first had some very rich discussions, and there's a small note that summarizes those in your package that was sent out for the seminar. Today we will be focusing on female farmers' access to inputs, which is of course a very important part of being a successful farmer. But first we have some practical information. So the emergency exit is there at the back, and we go out through the main door and we'll gather by the big tree. Let's hope we don't need that. The washrooms are around the corner. There's also some water outside if somebody feels a little parched, it's so hot. And as was mentioned in the invitation, we will be live streaming this event. So there is a camera there. And then later, when we have our Q&A session, we will ask the people who want to ask questions to come up and stand over, well, your right, my left, so over in the corner there. And then that will also be on camera. And if you have any more questions about how this will work, so then you can just ask us later. And then this will be posted on YouTube by the World Food Program after the event. And then I would like to officially open this seminar and invite our Deputy Head of the Mission, Ms. Martine Holtheim, to come with the opening statement. Thank
you. Good afternoon. Dear Deputy Secretary, Mr. Anil Jain, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, their Country Director, World Food Program, Elizabeth, distinguished panelists, their friends, their colleagues, I am so pleased to welcome you all here to the Norwegian Embassy and to this second symposium on women's farmers in India. We are very happy to collaborate with UN World Food Program on this symposium series. Together, we are working to boost the resilience of smallholder farmers with focus on women against the impacts of climate change. In our first symposium in April, we highlighted the crucial role of women in agriculture sector in India. We celebrated their vital contributions, which often go unrecognized. We discussed the importance of providing women farmers with better access to resources, land ownership, and institutional support to boost their contributions and livelihoods. We take the propositions from the first symposium with us in today's symposium. Today's symposium focusing on expanding women's farmers' access to land, input, training, and governance schemes. Between the first symposium and this second symposium, an important decision was made at the United Nations. So all the countries members of the United Nations have declared the year 2026 as the International Year of Women Farmers. This is an exciting news, and of course a very good timing with this series of symposiums. The International Year of Women Farmers 2026 will serve as a platform for the adoption of effective policies and actions against the barriers and challenges that women farmers faces across agri-food systems across the world. It will also promote gender equality and the empowerment of women in agriculture. The FAO's recent report on status of women in agriculture system reveals that women make up 39% of the global agriculture labor force. Yet, they face significant discrimination. Women struggle with land and livestock ownership, access to quality jobs, fair pay, participation in decision-making, access to credit and financial services. So empowering women farmers with more rights and better facilities is crucial in the fight against hunger and food insecurity worldwide, which the Norwegian government has prioritized in our development policy. Our strategy, which is called Combining Forces Against Hunger, is a key part of our mission to promote social change, combat inequality, and support economic development and welfare in developing countries. This strategy is therefore an important part of Norway's broad commitment to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. I'm really looking forward to today's symposium, where panelists will discuss, as well as suggest better ways to improve the access of women farmers to resources and institutions. We appreciate all of you for being here today and for engaging yourself and learning more about this very important topic. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Martina. And then I would like to invite the country director for the World Food Program in India, Elizabeth Foda, to make her remarks.
Good afternoon, everybody. Deputy Head of Mission Martine and esteemed government officials and everybody present. Good afternoon. It's really a privilege for me as country director to co-host with the government of Norway this Symposia Series and the second one. WFP in Norway started a project in India recently in Assam State, which both Marit and Martin referred to, where we are supporting farmers to adapt to climate change, diversify livelihoods, and build resilience. And it really targets women farmers. And this Symposia Series is really part of that collaboration, because as we know, advocacy, awareness raising, learning is crucial to achieve results. And so I also want to thank the Norwegian government for encouraging WFP to play a role in this advocacy space. So the first symposium was really focused on the plight of women farmers. What is it like to be a woman farmer in India? And we found out quite a lot. I mean, basically women play a key role in the sector, in harvesting and livestock rearing, in all aspects of the sector. But there really is a lack of status, a lack of visibility, a lack of recognition for women farmers. They're mostly invisible due to those quite entrenched social norms, and agriculture work is often seen as an extension of household chores for women. So they don't often have that status as professional farmers. We learned during that first symposium that they have difficulty accessing the government schemes, at times don't have equal access to technology, to credit, to information, and certainly not to land, the land which they toil. According to the FAO, if a woman had equal access to land as men, yields would go up between 20 and 30%, which is quite a staggering statistic, I think. We also heard from our colleagues from the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare about the myriad schemes in India to support farmers, and many of them target women farmers in particular. There's a very strong commitment from the government of India to support women farmers. So a key recommendation that came out of the last symposium was the need to raise awareness among women farmers so that they can benefit from these schemes, from the support that is available. And supporting women's collectives also supporting women's collectives also emerged as a key
is through those networks of women, often they're able to access land in a way that they cannot normally do. And we heard from two very dedicated NGO partners. And I think we all felt very motivated after this, very motivated to do even more, and inspired. So today's symposium really focuses on solutions. We looked at we analyzed the problem for the last time. This is really focused on solutions. How do we support women to access the schemes, the inputs, the land, the technology, the credit, and so on?
So, yes, so we have some great experts today, and I'm really looking forward to a good discussion, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we thought it would be good to have a small intervention that will talk about how some of the practical realities in quite literally the field can look like. So I would like to invite Ms. Sakin together with Ms. Nega from SEVA to come up and give a presentation. And Ms. Nega will help support Western translation. Thank you.
नमस्ते, मेरा नाम सखी है, मेरे गांव का नाम धोखागढ़ा है, मेरे जिले का नाम मार्केट है। मैं एक सेवा की सभ्य बहन हूँ, सेवा के साथ 12 साल से जुड़ी हुई हूँ, सेवा की तीसरी बेटी हूँ, सेवा की कारोबारी हूँ, और मैं खुद की भी खेती है, मैं खेती काम भी करती हूँ, खेती की आगे बहन भी हूँ और खेती में एक मास्टर ट्रेनर भी हूँ।
Namaste, I am Sakhiben Ahir. I am a member of Seva since last 12 years. I am member of Seva, I am leader of Seva, and I am also executive committee member of Seva. I am from Dhokagada village in Patan district in Gujarat.
और मैं आपा की ट्रेजरर भी हूँ, और मैं हमारी जो सेवा की कंपनी है उसकी शेयर होल्डर सभ्य बहन हूँ, और हमारी खुद की जो उन्नत बाजार कंपनी है उसकी भी मेंबर हूँ, और मेरी मम्मी भी सेवा के साथ 30 साल से काम कर रही है। मैं अपने बारे में बताऊं तो जो जहाँ से मैं आती हूँ वो इंडिया पाकिस्तान की बॉर्डर से नजदीक है। पहले हमारे पास पीने के लिए पानी नहीं था और रोजगार भी नहीं थी, क्योंकि हमारे पास कुछ जैसे बारिश ही नहीं आती थी, तो हम लोग जो हमारे मम्मी थे पापा थे सब स्थानांतर करके जहाँ पे पानी था वहाँ के लिए हम चले जाते थे। तो वहाँ हमारे पास जैसे घर पे हम 8 महीना रुकते थे और 4 महीना हम बाहर चले जाते थे, तो पढ़ाई भी नहीं थी। लेकिन जब हमारे वहाँ इलाके में आए, रीमा पे आए, तो उसने देखा कि हमारे पास जैसे मैंने कपड़े पहने थे वो हमारे पास हमारी परंपरागत कारीगरी थी, लेकिन हमें उसमें पता नहीं था कि हमें उसमें से कुछ रोजगारी मिलेगी। लेकिन जैसे हमारे रीमा पे ने सोचा कि हम उसमें से कैसे बहनों को आगे लाए, तो हमारे रीमा पे ने उसमें से हमें रोजगारी देने लगे। फिर हमारे पास हमारी खुद की जमीन थी, लेकिन बारिश नहीं आती तो उसमें हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते थे। लेकिन जब इलाके ने सोचा कि जो बारिश जब जैसे जैसे बारिश आती है तो वो पानी है उसको हम कैसे संग्रह करके बहनों को अपनी खेती में आगे ले जा सके, तो फिर हमारे जो खेत थे उसमें छोटे छोटे तालाब बनाए, हमारे खेत पान बनाए, उसमें से पानी का संग्रह करके हम खेती करने लगे। हम खेती को हमारी करते थे परंपरागत, जैसे हमारे दादा करते थे, दादी करते थे, लेकिन हमें पता नहीं था कि हम उसको टेक्नोलॉजी के जरिए कैसे खेती कर सके। लेकिन वो सब सेवा के साथ जुड़े, संगठन में जुड़े, तालीम ली, तब हमें पता चला।
So I am also a treasurer in youth committee in AFA. AFA is the Asia Farmers Association, the Asia Pacific Regional Network. I am also a shareholder of our own company of artisans, and I am also member. I am the third generation member in my family, and my mother is with Seva since 30 years. We are from the area which is on the border of Pakistan, which is almost a dry land. In 8 months, we used to work in our village in agriculture during the rainy season, but for 4 months we had to migrate to other areas because only one season was there. So our education was also suffered. We had a drinking water problem, livelihoods problem. So when Seva came, our founder Sheila, when came to our area, she saw that we have this kind of embroidery which she is marrying. So they used to do for their daughters only. So how we can bring the economic value to them? So training was given on artisan, that how the market value can be added, which kind of products market is looking for, and all these based on this training, they started earning income. They started forming the savings group, and through that earning, they invested in the agriculture. Water was a major problem, so they started making a small ponds in the farm ponds, and we used to do traditional farming, whatever forefathers used to do. But with Seva, we organized our farmers. So through organized strength, we learned how to do the new techniques of the training, the technology in training, the natural farming practices. All these we undergo the training. And we learn the new ways of agriculture.
जब हम बहन की तरीके से खेती करते थे तो हमें ऐसा सोचना कि जैसे हमारे वहाँ ऐसा था कि भाई के साथ हमें काम ही करना है, बहन है तो हमारा कुछ उसमें खेती में कोई हक नहीं है। लेकिन जब हम सेवा के साथ जुड़े, बाहर निकले तो हमें पता चला कि जैसे हमारे जो घर पे कोई ऐसी बहन थी उसके पति की मृत्यु हो जाती है अथवा उसके पति छोड़ देता है, तो वो खेती तो करती थी, लेकिन जब उसका पति उसे छोड़ देता तो उनके पास कुछ नहीं बचता था। लेकिन हम सेवा के साथ जुड़े तो सब तालीम ली, हमें पता चला कि जैसे खेती भाई करते हैं तो हम बहन भी करते हैं, तो हमारा भी खुद का होना चाहिए। तो फिर हमने हमारे खेती में हमारा खुद का नाम लिया, फिर जैसे पहले मेरी मम्मी का नाम आया, फिर हमने वारसा में मेरा नाम लिखा। तो वैसे अब हम खुद बोल सकते हैं कि हमारी खेती के हम बहन है तो फिर भी हम मालिक है, तो वो हम सेवा के जरिए हमारी खेती के हम मालिक बने।
So earlier, our area, the society was such that the land titles only male used to be there, women were not part of. Though they were doing agriculture, but structural barriers were there. But when we came, we joined Seva, we came out for meetings, we also saw society, how is society, and we also saw what is the value of our contribution in economy. Then we realized that no, we also need to have our name in land. And through the savings and credit group, many of the farmers' lands were mortgaged due to this debt and this kind of situation. So women, through the savings and credit groups and income of these embroidery, they started releasing the land and adding the name of women farmer, and that's how the land, the women's name in the land titles came in. Earlier the mother's name, and now, so we are also now the owners and managers of our farm and land.
अब हम जैसे जैसे खेती करने लगे, लेकिन खेती में भी बहुत दिक्कतें आती है, तो वो दिक्कतों से बाहर कैसे निकलना है, तो उसके लिए हमने हमारी जो खेती है उसको टिकाऊ खेती कैसे बनानी है, तो उसके लिए हमने हमारा जैसे हमारे गांव में है तो जो बड़े बड़े फार्मर होते हैं उनके पास तो सब मिल जाता है, जैसे खातर है, बियारण है, सब मिल जाता है। लेकिन जब छोटी छोटी बहनें जो अपने खेत में छोटा छोटा काम करते हैं उनके लिए बहुत दिक्कत आती है, तो उनके लिए हमारी सेवा के जरिए साथ हमने हमारा खुद का ग्रुप बना के हमने डेपो भी बनाए, जैसे हमारे खातर के डेपो है, बियारण के डेपो है, उनका हमने हमारा खुद का लाइसेंस लिया हुआ है। तो जैसे बारिश आती है तो उसमें हमें बियारण लेना है, खाता लेना है, तो हमारा खुद का नाम का होता है, इसलिए हमें कुछ उसमें दिक्कत नहीं आई है, उसके लिए हमने वो लाइसेंस बनाए है। दूसरा ऐसा है कि हमारा खुद का हमने बहनों का ग्रुप में रह के क्लस्टर बनाया। जैसे क्लस्टर बनाने का हमारा मुख्य हेतु ये है कि हम जो बहनें हैं जो छोटे छोटे हमारी पैदाश होती है तो उनका कोई मार्केट में उनका लेने के लिए तैयार नहीं होते, लेकिन जैसे हमारा ग्रुप होता है तो उसमें हम जो हमारी पैदाश होती है तो कैसे बेच सके, तो वो क्लस्टर के जरिए हम बेचते हैं। उसके लिए हमें खाता में भी दिक्कत नहीं आती, बियारण में भी नहीं आती है, और हमारा जो पाक होता है वो भी हम टाइम से बेचते हैं, और पूरे साल का हमें जो उत्पादन होता है वो हम बेच के हमारे घर का वो पूरा खर्चा उठा सकते हैं।
So other challenges where of course there are recurring challenges. Being a women farmer, we do not have recognition as a farmer, and so we do not have access to the government schemes or mainstream finance or mainstream market. So what we did was we brought these markets or these challenges, how we can bring to women. So we organized ourselves at district level. We have district associations, and we also got the license to sell the seeds and to sell the farmers. We also formed the agro centers in the village level. So these groups are managing this. So women can come, of course, to buy the seeds. They can decide what they would like to produce or they would like to grow. And that's how we brought market to the women, the women's market. So apart from that, we also form the clusters. Being a small farmer, we have 1 bigger, 2 biggers of land. And with small produce, we can't go to mainstream market. And so we formed the producers company called Rudy Multi Trading Company, where the small producers, they can sell at Rudy at village level at a market price. We have processing centers at village level, cluster of village. So local livelihoods can be generated. And through the Rudy bands, we have trained the women on selling this produce. So local women can sell house to house, and that's why the women-led localized, decentralized supply chain has been formed, which also reduces carbon emission and generates employment. And the women's groups, the women-led supply chain brings the women's participation and decision-making in this agriculture and food system.
और अभी जो सरकारी योजनाएं तो बहुत होती है, लेकिन जैसे हमारा एरिया है पाकिस्तान के बॉर्डर, तो वहाँ तक सभी योजनाएं पहुँचती नहीं। लेकिन हम सेवा के जरिए से हमारे व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप है, फेसबुक ग्रुप है, जैसे हमारा वॉइस मैसेज है, सब हम ऐसे हमारे ग्रुप में डाल देते हैं। तो सभी हमारी बहनें हमारे साथ जुड़ी है, उनके तक हमारी जो योजनाएं होती है वो पहुँच जाती है। और कभी बहनें ऐसी भी है वो अपने घर से बाहर नहीं निकलती, तो उनके ऐसे फॉर्म भरने पड़ते हैं, तालुके में जाना पड़ता है, जिले में भी जाना पड़ता है, वो सब काम नहीं कर सकती। तो हम अपने जो ग्रुप के बहनें हैं उनके एक आगेवान बहन बन के उनकी जो योजना है उनका पूरा लाभ उन तक कैसे पहुंचाए वो काम भी हम ग्रुप में करते हैं।
So we are in a bordering area, far off. So there are government schemes, collective group schemes that we can avail, but the information does not reach to us. So what we have done is we have leaders who are trained through the government KVKs or the universities, agriculture universities, and they work in these villages, and they have around 1,500 farmers. So they have made the farmers groups, and we send the voice messages. Our farmers are semi-literate, illiterate, so we send the voice messages, and through that voice messages they get awareness about these schemes. And the Agevans, leaders like she is there, so they provide handholding support. If the documents are not there, they help to link with the budgets or the support services.
और दूसरा ये भी है कि अभी जो वातावरण है वो बार-बार बदलता है, उसका जो सबसे ज्यादा उनकी जो दिक्कत है वो आती है, तो वो छोटे-छोटे फार्मर है जो हमारे जैसे उनके पर, क्योंकि हमें पता ही नहीं होता कि कभी बारिश आने वाली है, कभी वो हमारे जो हमने हमारा पूरा जो काम है वो खेती में करके पूरा पाक तैयार होता है, तभी वो वातावरण बदल जाता है और बारिश भी आ जाती है। लेकिन उसमें हमें पहले पता नहीं था कि उनके लिए कोई स्कीम होगी, उनके लिए कोई बीमा लेना है या पॉलिसी लेना है। लेकिन जब हम सेवा के साथ जुड़े तो हमें पता चला कि जैसे हमारा जो कोई पाक हम कर रहे हैं तो उनका बीमा बैंक में से कैसे लेना है, वो सब योजनाएं उनके लिए क्या है, वो सब हम देखे और उनके लिए हमने वो योजनाओं का लाभ भी हमारे सभी को लेने के लिए तैयार किए। कभी कोई जो वातावरण बदल जाता है तो उनके लिए हम पहले से तैयार होते हैं, इसलिए हमारे जो पूरे साल का हमें उनमें से जो लेना होता है, इसलिए हम जो कोई बीमा लिया होता है तो उसमें हमें लाभ मिलता है और हमें जो हमारा पाक है उनका नुकसानी का भरपाई जो है वो बीमा मिलता है, उनमें से हम निकाल सकते हैं।
So earlier, the climate change is a major challenge nowadays. Since last few years, they are facing 2 or 3 climate events, and they were not aware about the insurance. Sometimes they take the loan through the Kisan credit card. Insurance were there, but they were not aware that they get that benefit of it. And only those members who get the loans, they can having the insurance. But through Seva, we got the heat wave insurance, parametric insurance, and the farmers got benefit, they got awareness, and they also got benefit during this challenging time.
और अभी जो मुझे कहना तो बहुत है, क्योंकि हमारे मेरा ही परिवर्तन नहीं आया, लेकिन मेरे जैसी हमारी सेवा की लाखों बहनों हैं वो अपने जीवन में अपनी खेती में आगे आई है। लेकिन जब हम कुछ मार्केट में कुछ नहीं कर सकते थे, लेकिन अब हम खुद की हमारी जो रूडी कंपनी बनाई है उसमें जैसे जब कोरोना आया था तो बहुत जैसे मार्केट बंद हो गया था, हमारा पूरा माल तैयार था, हम बेच नहीं सकते थे, पूरा कोई वाहन व्यवहार बंद हो गया था, तब हमें ऐसा था कि हमें पूरे साल में हमारे जो पाक होता है उसमें से रोजगारी मिलती है, वही हम पूरे साल में अपना अपना घर चलाते हैं। लेकिन जब हमारी खुद की कंपनी थी रोड़ी, तो उसमें हमने ऑनलाइन मार्केटिंग किया था, तो हम जैसे कोरोना जैसी महामारी थी उसमें भी बच गए थे। तो हमें गर्व है कि हमारे जो गामड़ा की हम गरीब बहन है, फिर भी हमारी खुद की रूड़ी कंपनी है, और जो कंपनी ऐसी है कि जिसके मालिक और मैनेजर हम खुद बहन है।
So as I said earlier, we have formed the company. So I'll give example during the Corona and lockdown. When the markets were closed and no one used to do the sale of this produce, it was a big period. And at that time, Ruby, which was at village level, through online marketing, we could link the farmers to the market and got the benefit. So we are now the owners and managers.
हमारी सेवा ने हमारे साथ बहुत अच्छा किया है और बहुत काम किया है और हमें बहुत आगे लाई है। तो अभी टाइम कम है, लेकिन कहना तो बहुत है, बस इतना ही। जय सेवा।
Thank you. Due to time, I'm stopping myself. There are many stories, but thank you so much for inviting.
Can I ask you to just everything for 2 seconds? So thank you so much, and thank you. We thought we could try to open for 2 questions from the room, 2 only. Do I see some hands who would like to ask a question? If not, I'll take one. Please, can you go to the corner there, and can someone take the mic? Yes, please. Thank you.
नमस्कार और बहुत बहुत ही अच्छी आपने अपनी जर्नी बताई। मैं ये पूछना चाहती हूँ, जो आपकी पूरा इतने साल आप जुड़ी हैं सेवा से, तो शुरू में आपके पुरुषों का किस तरह से उनका माइंडसेट, उनका सोच कैसे बदली, उसमें क्या क्या आपको चुनौतियाँ आई और उसको कैसे एक साथ मिलकर आपने उसका हल निकाला? So I'm asking, what were the men's reaction, role of men in their lives, and what were the challenges which she faced with the other women, and how did she address them?
जैसे आपने प्रश्न किया कि भाइयों हमारे साथ कैसे मिल जुले, तो जैसे पहले तो हमारे पास आवक आने लगी, तब हमारे साथ भाई लोग जोड़ने लगे, क्योंकि पहले हम कुछ कमाते नहीं थे, तो हमारा भाई लोग साथ में देते थे। लेकिन जब पहले हमने एम्ब्रॉयडरी का किया, फिर हम खेती में खुद का, जैसे अभी नई टेक्नोलॉजी आई है, तो हम घर पे तालीम लेके जाते हैं, तो उसमें अच्छा होता है, तो वो भाई हमको पूरा तरह से साथ देता है कि नहीं ये अच्छा है, क्योंकि उसमें से कुछ अच्छा होने वाला है और आवक भी ज्यादा नहीं लगेगी। तो जब पैसा मिलता है तो सब साथ देते हैं।
So there were initially challenges at her mother's time. They were used to stop the women for going out for meetings or trainings out of village. But she's saying that when income comes in hand in the family, then the male members also agree. From the embroidery income, they started investing in agriculture, which helped them to stop migration. And they started working in their own farm because of the income of the women, and that helped them to understand the value of women's income, and they started providing support. Even in that society, the education was not provided. She is the one, she has done the medical financial.
मेरे समाज में मैं पहली ऐसी लड़की हूँ जिसने पीटीसी, बीए और एमए तक की पढ़ाई की।
She's the first lady who has done BA, MA and PTC, otherwise society was not allowing for education.
We have one more question. I think we'll leave it to the gentleman for the over here. And that's our second one. And we'll have a longer Q&A session later.
अभी अच्छा एक उन्होंने उदाहरण दिया, says really very good example for growing farmers. बाकी जो लेडीज हैं, वुमेन फार्मर्स हैं, तो उनको जोड़ने के लिए अभी आप आती हैं या आपको कुछ उनको प्रेरणा देनी पड़ती है? Do you encourage them or motivate them? And how many women farmers are कनेक्टेड विद यू, कितने महिला किसान आपके साथ जुड़े हुए हैं इसमें?
अभी हमारे साथ जो हमारी सेवा में हमारे जो 18 राज्यों और 18 जिले में सब मिलके हमारी 30 लाख सभ्य बहनें हैं सेवा की। और उसमें जोड़ने के लिए हम हमारी 10 रुपया एमएस की सभ्य भी रखते हैं। और जो सेवा की सभ्य बन जाती है उसके लिए सभ्य बनने के बाद ही हम उनको तालीम देने का काम करते हैं। और उनको कोई दिक्कत आती हो तो उसको हम कैसे मदद करें, और जैसे हमने बोला कि सरकारी योजनाएं है तो उनका लाभ है उन तक कैसे ले जाइए, उनके घर की भी कोई दिक्कत है तो उनमें से उसको कैसे बाहर ले जा सके, वो पूरा काम हम उनके साथ करते हैं। हाँ, तो जैसे अभी जैसे मैं सेवा के साथ जुड़ी तो मेरे जैसी दूसरी बहनों को जुड़ने के लिए प्रेरणा ऐसे मिलती है कि जैसे मैं अपने खेत में कोई नया काम करती हूँ तो वो देखती है तो वो भी वो बोलती है मुझे कि आपने ऐसा कहाँ से सीखा है, तो मैं बोलती हूँ कि मैंने सेवा से सीखा है। तो वो ऐसे बोलते कि मुझे भी सेवा के साथ जुड़ो ना, तो फिर हम उनको सेवा के साथ जोड़ते हैं। और जैसे हम खेती में कोई नया करते हैं, जैसे हमने मेरे खेत में मैंने डेमो बनाया, डेमो में मैंने कोई नई पद्धति डाली है तो वो मेरे खेत में आके देखती है कि आपने ये कहाँ से सीखा है, तो मैं बोलती हूँ कि मैंने हमारी सेवा में से ये तालीम लेके सीखा है। तो वो भी वो देख के कहती है कि मुझे भी मेरे खेत में ऐसा करना है, तो मैं क्या करूँ, तो मैं फिर उसको बोलती हूँ कि आप भी सेवा में 10 रुपया फीस भर के आप भी सेवा की सभ्य बन सकती है। तो फिर ऐसे ऐसे जुड़ती है हमारे साथ।
So currently we have 30 million women farmers from 18 states of India, and in Gujarat we work in 18 districts. She's saying that to be a part of Seva, we have a 10 rupees membership, and I asked how you motivate other women as you was asking. She's saying that I practice new techniques, which then looking at the change, the positive change in my farming agriculture, the other families also ask me, the other young women also ask me that how did you learn that? How you are changing, making the change in your farming, and that's how they come to her, and she also joins, organize her, and then they can undergo trainings, various trainings, and they have also motivated of the climate change, which is of course a new future, and there they have trained the many women, the rural women on as a climate entrepreneurs. They have learned the technologies and they are getting income. They are placed at the factories and the companies who are earning 17,000, 18,000. And she was also sharing that earlier when we were coming, that earlier they had to take money from outside. But with this earning 17, 18,000, now the women's income is invested in agriculture.
I think this was 3 million.
Yeah.
Not 30 million.
30 lakhs.
3 million.
Thank you, and I'm sure that we all have a better picture now. Thank you so much. Of what is actually possible to achieve, because that is what we want to do with this series. We want to focus on the positive change that we can all help support. We will now move on to our panel discussion, and I'm handing over to the World Food Program, if it will come up. So first, our three panelists will give a presentation, and then we will have a moderated discussion, followed by a Q&A session. Please.
Thank you, Marie. Good afternoon, everyone. So from Sakhi Bain's story, I think we were all quite inspired, and we got a glimpse of the gamut of challenges that women farmers face, and also what solutions are possible to really take them from the being really held down by the challenges to overcoming them and emerging as not just women farmers but entrepreneurs in their own right. So delving deeper into these issues, we now proceed to the panel discussion. I would like to invite our first speaker, Dr. Vinita Kumari, to please come up She will speak on the role of social norms in limiting women's access to land, inputs, government schemes, and other opportunities for growth. Dr. Vinita is a Deputy Director and Lead of the Gender Studies at National Institute of Agricultural Extension Management, also known as MANAGE, Hyderabad, since July 2018. Currently, she is heading the Center for Gender in Agriculture, Nutritional Security and Urban Agriculture, and acting as the Principal Coordinator of PGDAEM program at MANAGE. Her areas of specialization include women empowerment, gender studies, women in agriculture, women FPOs, nutrition-sensitive agriculture, family farmers, microgreens, and biofortification, among others. She has more than 40 published research articles, lead papers, and articles in reputed academic, national, and international journals, 10 published books, 5 book chapters, and 2 lead papers. Dr. Vinita, please, if I may invite you on stage.
A very good afternoon to all the delegates and coming from different parts of the country. So I'm very happy to share my thoughts, my experience of working on gender issues in agriculture so far. So today I'll be talking on the role of social norms in limiting women's access to land, ownership, inputs, government schemes, and etc. So, is this okay? So, at the very outset, I would like to highlight here that we all understand and we really understand that there is a disparity. A lot of global gender gap is there, particularly in land ownership, which the data and statistics will be shared from the ministry itself. So, but we know that the percentage of land owned by women is around 15%, and that is very less if we want the women farmers to take a lead in agriculture, considering their immense role in agriculture and allied sectors that they play. So there are different reasons for land ownership why women are not owning a significant percentage of land. As we have just heard from Sakhi Ben that how they have managed to get the land in their names later, which empowered them. So that is why it is important that for women farmers, land ownership is the first step to their empowerment. And social norms, because we all know that all these are societal norms that limit or impact on this thing. So I believe here that the land ownership primarily because we understand there are different things. Legal is one aspect, although legal provisions are there, but women farmers, particularly the rural women, I would say that education is one of the important factors that limits their access and ownership of land, because they are not so educated. They don't want, they don't understand in fact how to get access and get the rights on their lands which they are entitled. They don't want to get into these complexities of getting the lands for them, because they don't have the education, they don't have the understanding, and they don't have the time and access to reach for these legal procedures and all to get, in case if it is not given by mutually from the family members. So that patriarchal setup is one, and women by nature they think that they don't want to claim their rights in the family assets and all. So they don't just think that let my family be happy. These are the women's emotions emotions and things that I don't want things, let it be with my family members and all. So the legal and patriarchal structures and women's emotional or the soft feelings that they have for their family and sides, so that they restrict their land ownership. And also education is a very important factor because they need to have a lot of paperwork to be done, lot of understandings of the legal terms, legal content they don't understand, so they're not sure what they will be signing for, whether it is right to document or not. So I believe that these are some of the limiting factors that governs or limits their access to land ownership. And also, we know that women are overburdened in agriculture. They are working on farm, household activities. So they don't have much time, spare time or leisure time that they would like to invest. They have that liberty to invest in getting into all these things, because hardly people would like to get into. It requires a lot of time. If we once it becomes a legal thing, so they have a lot of things in that, and decision making also, because women are very getting less opportunities as a decision maker, whether at family related, household related, or their own life. So this is where because they need to take decisions every now and then, for whether it is for agricultural activities, it is for their household activities, it is for their own life, and they don't. They are good decision makers, I don't say, but they don't have exposure. They never come and exercise this type, but they don't get that opportunity, get into the discussion forum. They are not engaged into the family discussions, so they don't evolve as a decision makers. They have because once they are given opportunity, like we have examples of Sakhi Bain and many such women here, they, when given an opportunity, facilitation, support, they are doing it, but they have hesitation, they lack confidence. So this hesitation, lack of confidence is another thing that limits their decision making ability, and to get whether it is market related support, or it is input related, or government support, or anything, they need to take decisions every now and then. That is where they need to take a lot of decisions, and unfortunately very few such women numbers get such opportunities. And even if they are in many forums or many committees, like say if they are women FPOs or such, so they mostly will be hijacked by men, so they don't get and they feel shy also, that whatever I speak, whether it is correct or not, whether it will be ridiculed by others, because they don't know what exactly they are saying. So I feel that these are some of the challenges that will really affect or it limits their access to their ownership on land, and also many other things. And also we see that they have lot of if we take into the inputs, because when they are into agriculture and inputs, they need to have direct access to get the inputs from the sold buyers, sellers who are available in there. So here I feel that getting the inputs, one of the barriers firstly is that they are overburdened, so they don't have spare time that they directly go and do the marketing of the inputs for their whether it is agriculture related or livelihood related enterprises whatsoever. And also mobility becomes one of the concerns. So here considering all those mobility, they can't travel so much, and also they need to interact with men. That is also one of the cultural barriers that they are not allowed to. So coming to the government support also, as I said, that sometimes it does not reach to far off remote places. So I think that Viksit Bharat Yatra that was taken up by the government of India, that was a good initiative. I feel similar initiatives should be taken exclusively for women farmers, because that was a general support campaign that was there across different ministries and departments. So if we have a dedicated exclusive campaign for women farmers, I hope that International Women of Years will be celebrating in 2026. So such type of dedicated efforts would strengthen the women's abilities to know what are the government supports, how to access, how to procure. So since the limit constraint, respecting the time limit, I will be opening up more on the Q&A sessions. So I will limit to here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Vinita. Now I would like to invite our next speaker, Mr. Anil Jain. Mr. Anil Jain is Deputy Secretary at the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare and carries with him an experience of more than 35 years in government service. He is a graduate in science from Delhi University. He joined the Income Tax Department in 1987 and since then has gained multi-dimensional experience in the field of revenue, pharmaceuticals and agriculture. Mr. Jain is with the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare since January 2018 and as Deputy Secretary looks after the Extension Division, including National Gender Resource Center in Agriculture, housed in the Directorate of Extension at Pusa in New Delhi. He will speak on how government schemes address women farmers, schemes such as Mahila Kisan Sashaktikarana Yojana and others. Mr. Jain, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am Anil Jain. I will be speaking on behalf of Mr. Symposia Series. He is busy with the PM function today. I am reading out what my government is doing, certain government schemes, how government schemes are addressing women farmers. Women's economic empowerment and women-led development is at the heart of India's agenda. Exploring the potential of gender transformative approaches, the Intergovernmental Forum of the G20 also provided a platform for members to collectively translate ideas into tangible outcomes aimed at achieving substantive and sustained gender equality towards the goal of women-led development. India's vision is well encapsulated in our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi's remarks. Global development is not possible without women's participation. Across developing countries, the agricultural sector is an essential source of economic growth, employment, poverty reduction, food and nutrition security. Because women play a vital role in agriculture, gender inclusive growth and development projects in agriculture tends to be much effective socially and economically. Strengthening the role of women in agriculture boosts agricultural productivity and income, and closing the gender gap by ensuring gender equality in access to productive resources and raise agricultural output in developing countries. In India, women are playing an important role in the agriculture sector and development of rural economy from production to value chain management and strengthening agriculture value chain systems. Agriculture, the single largest production endeavor in India, is contributing substantially to the GDP. Women play a significant and crucial role in agricultural development, including main crop production, livestock production, horticulture, post-harvesting operations, agro-social forestry, fishing, etc. Increasing percentage of female operational holders during different agricultural census indicates participation of more and more women in operation and management of agricultural holdings in the country. According to the Census of India 2011, women represent about 33% of cultivators and 47% of agricultural laborers. Moreover, a considerable large number of female workers in rural India are engaged in agriculture sector. The concentration of women farmers is observed to be highest, 28%, among small and marginal farmers. According to Economic Survey 2018-19, the survey further reported that women play a significant role in agricultural activities ranging from crop production, livestock production, horticulture to post-harvest operations, agro-social forestry and fisheries. Women contribute over 70% to the total primary milk production. This is according to World Bank 2020. And comprise 72% of workforce engaged in fisheries. Based on statistics, agricultural experts find that with growing rural to urban migration, there is feminization of the agriculture sector, and that women in agriculture are potential agents of change for better nutrition and sustainable development of the sector. Therefore, it is imperative to strengthen women's participation in agriculture through their social and economic empowerment. The government of India is aware of the agricultural issues and the need for a transformation of the agricultural systems that determine India's food security and conditions the well-being of almost half its population. Producers such as farmers, including women farmers, especially small and marginal farmers, agricultural laborers, fishers, and pastoralists must be at the heart of this human and social capital focused transformation, because without them, any hope of productive resilience based on context specific adaptation will be lost. It is important also to focus on strengthening capabilities of the women farmers in terms of the access to resources, including land, credit, extension services, inputs, etc. A transformation of farming and food system that builds in the hopes and aspirations of India's farmers, including women farmers, is the backbone that any reform must follow, even as it seeks to meet the sustainable agriculture. The key initiatives of the Government of India relevant and supporting the gender mainstreaming in agriculture are as follows. With regard to women in agriculture, the Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare is implementing various schemes and programs for providing assistance to the farmers, including female farmers, with an inbuilt component for technical assistance and training in the agriculture and allied sectors, as per eligibility and conditions existing in the scheme guidelines. The efforts of the ministry departments of the Government of India aim towards the gender mainstreaming in agriculture and ultimately economic and social upliftment of the farmers, including women farmers, are as follows. Number one, the guidelines of the various beneficiary-oriented schemes of the Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare provide that states and other implementing agencies provide for resources and fund allocation for women farmers. The central sector scheme Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi PM Kisan is being implemented by the DAFW with the aim to providing financial assistance to land holding farmers families, including women farmers across the country, subject to certain exclusion criteria. 3.02 crore women have been benefited under the PM Kisan scheme till date since inception. The central sector scheme Pradhan Mantri Kisan Man Dhan Yojana is also being implemented in order to provide social security net for the small and marginal farmers by way of pension scheme, including women farmers, as they have minimal or no savings to sustain their livelihood during their old age and to support them in the event of consequent loss of livelihood. The DAFW is also providing additional support and assistance to women farmers over and above the male farmers under various schemes. The Central Institute of Women in Agriculture, Bhubaneswar, under Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ICAR, New Delhi, is working with the mandate to undertake research on gender issues in agriculture and allied fields through its All India Coordinated Research Project Centers in India. The ICAR has established Krishi Vigyan Kendras, AVKs, in the country mandated with technology assessment and demonstration for its application and capacity development. AVKs organize training programs for the benefit of farmers and farm women, rural youth, and extension personnel, and organize women-specific activities on various topics. In order to familiarize women with the latest technologies in agriculture and allied sectors, trainings are also being imparted to women under schemes of Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare has launched a component called Innovation and Agri Entrepreneurship Development under Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana in 2018-19 with an objective to promote innovation and agri entrepreneurship by providing financial support and nurturing the information ecosystem. This ministry has appointed knowledge partners as centers of excellence and RKVY agri-business incubators from across the country for implementation of this program. 380 women-led startups working in various fields of agriculture and allied sector have been trained and selected for providing financial assistance through knowledge partners and agri-business incubators under Innovation and Agri Entrepreneurship Program of RKVY. The Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare under Central Sector Scheme of Formation and Promotion of 10,000 farmer producer organizations has made special provisions in the operational guidelines to empower women farmers, such as providing special focus in area to include women farmers, women self-help groups as members to make FPOs more effective and inclusive, and making provisions to prefer women farmers as its shareholder. Women are an integral part of FPOs, and therefore farmer members, both men and women, are mobilizing during its formation stage through awareness creation. Out of total 7,774 FPOs formed as of 31st December 2023, 795 FPOs are women only FPOs, with 100% as women members. In order to address the existing infrastructure gap and mobilize investment in agriculture sector infrastructure, Agri Infra Fund was launched under Atmanirbhar Bharat package, and women are actively getting benefited of the scheme. AIF was introduced with a vision to transform the agriculture infrastructure landscape of the country. The Agriculture Infrastructure Fund is a medium long-term debt financing facility for investment in viable projects for post-harvest management, infrastructure, and community farming assets through interest subvention and credit guarantee support. Eligible beneficiaries include farmers, including women, agri entrepreneurs, startups, primary agricultural credit societies, marketing cooperative societies, farmer producer organizations, self-help group, joint liability groups, multi-purpose cooperative societies, central and state agencies, or local bodies sponsored public-private partnership projects. The state agencies, agriculture produce market committees, national and state federations of cooperatives, federations of use, and federations of self-help groups. Agriculture Infrastructure Fund provides equal opportunity to women farmers and entrepreneurs to own and manage key agriculture infrastructure, resulting in diversifying their role in agriculture sector. This central sector scheme, Namo Drone Didi, for providing drone to women self-help groups with an outlay of rupees 1,261 crores, has been recently approved. The scheme aims to provide drones to 15,000 selected women self-help groups for providing rental services to farmers for agriculture purpose. It's for application of fertilizer and pesticides. Ministry of Rural Development is implementing Mahila Kisan Sashaktikiran Pariyojana, a sub-component of Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission, with the aim to empower women by making systematic investment to enhance their participation and productivity, as also to create sustainable livelihoods of rural women. It is demand-driven program implemented in project mode through the State Rural Livelihood Mission as project implementing agencies. The mission has also taken up several measures to encourage women to take up agricultural enterprises for enhancing their income across the country. The large producer enterprises and producer groups are being promoted to provide encouragement to women entrepreneurs for value addition in agriculture commodities. Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare and Ministry of Rural Development are jointly conducting the training of Krishi Sakis for promotion of natural farming. Natural farming is way of chemical-free farming based on livestock and locally available resources with no fertilizer and pesticides. The ministry is promoting natural farming since 2019-20 through a sub-scheme भारतीय प्राकृतिक कृषि पद्धति under परंपरागत कृषि विकास योजना in limited areas. The Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is a crop insurance scheme aimed at providing financial support to farmers in the event of crop failure due to natural calamities, pests and disease. While PMFBY does not specifically target women farmers, it indirectly benefits them by providing financial security and risk mitigation. It addresses the need of farmers in India by following this. Financial security. PMFBY provides financial security to women farmers by compensating them for crop losses. Women farmers, like their male counterparts, invest time, labor, and resources in agricultural activities. PMFBY ensures that women farmers are not disproportionately burdened by crop failure and subsequent financial losses. Access to credit. Many women farmers face challenges in accessing credit due to various socio-economic factors. PMFBY coverage acts as collateral, enabling women farmers to access credit from financial institutions for agricultural input, equipment, and other farming needs. This access to credit facilities facilitates their participation and investment in agricultural activities. Reduced vulnerability. Women farmers often bear the brunt of agricultural risk due to limited access to resources, technology, and support systems. PMFPY helps in reducing their vulnerability by providing a safety net against crop losses. This reduces economic uncertainty faced by women farmers and encourages them to adopt modern agricultural practices. Awareness and training. PMFBY implementation involves awareness campaigns and training programs at the grassroots level. These initiatives aim to educate farmers, including women farmers, about the benefit and procedures of crop insurance. By enhancing their understanding of insurance mechanisms, women farmers are better equipped to avail themselves of PMFBY benefits and protect their agricultural investments. Inclusion in decision making. PMFBY encourages the inclusion of women farmers in decision making processes related to crop insurance and risk management. Awareness campaigns and training programs often prioritize the participation of women farmers, empowering them with knowledge and decision making authority regarding crop insurance, coverage, and claim settlement. Impact on livelihood. Crop failures can have significant implications for the livelihood of women farmers, affecting household income and food security. PMFBY provides a safety net that helps in stabilizing their livelihood during times of agricultural distress. This stability enables women farmers to sustain their families and communities through challenging periods. While PMFBY primarily focuses on providing crop insurance coverage to farmers irrespective of gender, its implementation indirectly addresses the need of women farmers by promoting financial security, risk mitigation, and inclusive agricultural development. By safeguarding their agricultural investment and livelihoods, PMFBY contributes to the overall empowerment and well-being of women farmers in India. Mission for Integrated Development of Agriculture, of Horticulture supports the holistic growth of the horticulture sector, covering fruit, vegetable, fruit and tuber crops, mushrooms, spices, flowers, aromatic plants, coconut, cashew, and cocoa. MIDH consists of five schemes on horticulture: National Horticulture Mission, Horticulture Mission for Northeast and Himalayan states, National Horticulture Board, Coconut Development Board, Central Institute of Horticulture at Nagaland, National Food Security Mission. Currently, National NFSM is being implemented in identified districts of 28 states and 2 union territories, namely Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh in the country. It focuses on rice. Also, with a special action plan and linked to bringing green revolution to Eastern India scheme for rice-based system, wheat, pulses, core cereals, nutri-cereals, including jowar, bajra, ragi, and other millets. National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture and Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana with some key centrally sponsored schemes such as rain-fed areas, Mission on Agriculture, Forestry, National Bamboo Mission, Integrated Nutrient Management and Organic Farming, Soil Health Mission, and Pramagata Krishi Vikas Yojana are adopting practices and provisions of development and conservation of natural resources through promoting integrated farming system are made per paid, judicious use of chemical fertilizers, organic farming, and facilitating production, marketing of organic produce. Government of India is doing a lot of work for women farmers. It is very difficult to complete my information within time. If time is up, based on okay, that is now I finish my information. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure we'll have much to discuss during the Q&A session as well. Now I would like to call upon our last speaker, Ms. Megha Desai. Megha ji is an Indian Law and Commerce graduate from Gujarat University. She also has a Senior Management Development Program completion at the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. She is currently the National Coordinator of SEWA and in charge of their National Farmers Forum Network, which includes 2.6 million family farmers in India and across 16 states. She also oversees SEWA's agriculture campaign, which aims to unite the small and marginalized female family farmers to provide them with a voice, legitimacy, and visibility, and support them in becoming more resilient. She has worked with over 4,500 disadvantaged women in diverse countries to accomplish economic rehabilitation and peacemaking.
Namaste again, once again. So briefly, SEWA is a member-based organization, currently 2.9 million, about 3 million women are members across 18 states. We work for the main objective of full employment, self-reliance. 2/3 of the members are from rural area into agriculture and animal husbandry. So to achieve our goals, we have major 4 areas. Organizing is the key for SEWA. We are poor but so many, so how organized strength help women to build agency, and then capacity building is one of the other major component, and third is about capital formation and mitigation of the fight against poverty and how we can build the social security net for women farmers. So we work as, these are the areas where we work, and we work with 25 farmers organization who are the member-based organization. So major challenge, we all know that access is to finance, land, mainstream market. So productive resources, technology are major challenges. So to address that, we heard story of Sakhi Ben. So we have many Sakhi Bens and how we build them. So we have agriculture campaign, which is running since 1989. And we have seen that the major challenge of small and marginal women farmer across all states, in spite of different kinds of soil or weather condition or different crops, the challenges are common, which is market risk and climate risk. And that's why we run it as a campaign. And in campaign, we have major 4 areas. One is about how we can provide access to inputs, the quality inputs, seed, fertilizer, pesticides, weedicides. And together with that, we also have a major component of training. So capacity building in terms of technical trainings, which we of course link with the government KVKs. We train the leaders through KVKs or agricultural universities, and these the leaders then conduct training as a farmers field school in village level in the fields. And apart from that, technologies are coming, so technical trainings are there. We also, the major challenge for these, why we started agriculture campaign is, why does farmer remain hungry? So the farmer who feeds the entire world, sometimes their families have to sleep hungry. So how we can transform farm, their small farm as enterprise and farmer as entrepreneur, because traditionally they are usually the producers. So from producer to transform to entrepreneur, we have to provide them awareness and training on entrepreneurship development, and then managerial training on how they form and manage their enterprises. And so capacity building is a major component. And third about is access to mainstream finance. So we heard from Sakhiben, we motivate farmers to start savings and credit, and through collective we also have a Seva bank, and those who are saving, they have a bank account in Seva bank, and through that they get the loans initially, because from mainstream banks they can't get the loans. And through savings, then they have a matching fund with the scores and with their savings history, they can get the mainstream banks loans. And we also have new technologies are coming, the cleaner technologies which are not affordable to farmers. So how we can provide access to these kind of technologies? So we provide first loss guarantee, through which the nationalized banks agreed to give finance to these farmers, small and marginal farmers, and through that they started providing. And we also link the farmers, these products which are clean technology products, to the carbon market and reduce the prices. So from the biogas of 45,000, now it has come down to 9,000, which of course they can buy and they adopt. And the last one is about mainstream market. So with the small produce, small land holding, access to mainstream market is really difficult. Of course, with the structural and cultural barriers, women can't go. So what we thought that how we can bring the market to the women, and through that we started the formal Ruby Producer Zone Company, which is a for-profit company. And it's a women-led value chain, as I said. Ruby works in a hub and spoke model. At cluster of village level, we have producer groups, and they procure from the village level farmers at the mainstream market rate, and they process, primary processing is done. And under the Ruby brand, the different rural women are trained on marketing and selling, and they are selling house to house. So it also provides nutrition and food security to the women. As we heard from Sakhiben, even during the COVID lockdown, the women, the rural women got the food security. And of course, we also have, as she said, we have the licenses for the seed and fertilizer. So women's, these agro centers are there where women can come and buy the produce. We also have a value addition company called Kamla, where the women's produce mainly the forgotten food, the millets and all the women produce and sell. And we also have climate and agro entrepreneurs. climate change is a major challenge, and we have trained women on how they can address the climate issues or even install and repair the like solar pumps or biogas, precision irrigation. So women get the livelihoods, and we have trained the women groups who are earning in range of 17,000, 18,000. And apart from that, we have other aspects as well. We also provide the new finance for agro enterprises, like women have dal mills, oil mill. We also have a gender lens, we also have water campaign. The climate risk is a major risk, and we have a clean sky campaign where we have urban village, we have one Haryana village where around 40% of the households are getting the cleaner energy equipments for their household as well as agriculture and processing needs. Apart from that, we have a climate school which is training these climate entrepreneurs, agro entrepreneurs, and all these aspects, the heat wave insurance that we, parametric insurance, linkages with the climate market to reduce the produce prices there. And these are some of the photographs of our activities. And these are the social enterprises, the women's own enterprises where we have the decision makers, Rudy, Kamla, Hansipa are there. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Megha. May I request for the chairs to be organized, please, for the Q&A session? So may I please call the speakers to come up to the front for the chairs? We have chairs for both you and Bhatia. Please come on. Megha ji, please come up. Sakit and Abhi. So to take the discussion forward, I have specific questions for the three panelists, and I would like to begin with Dr. Vinita. Dr. Vinita, how do you envisage the role of agriculture extension in breaking the social barriers that prevent women farmers' access to land and resources for agriculture? How has the agricultural extension training and the agricultural extension activities actually encountered and addressed social norms in its scope?
You're talking about agricultural extension, how we are addressing women's social norms to accessibility. So as we know that manage here, being a national institute, we are doing capacity building of the officers across agriculture and allied sectors and across India. So we focus a lot on digital and financial literacy because I believe that, and it was also the highlight in G20 when India led the presidency, that digital and financial literacy is one. So 4 things are there. I believe that digital literacy, financial literacy, capacity building, and these are some of the pillars. So if we address them, definitely leadership qualities. So women will start representing themselves. They will talk. They will fight themselves. They will come up on their own. So that inside the cocoon that is there. So that cocoon, I think, with these tools, these strengths, they will evolve. And we have to do a lot of such programs, training programs on the strengthening the capacities of women farmers through focusing on these key areas that will make them self-reliant. They will try to, they no longer require the help and support of the community, family members. They themselves feel unity that is there. So without that, definitely collective action that will come out with these initiatives, they will be able to take the things for which they are entitled, but due to social norms, they were unable. So this type of literacy, because it's a digital world, so lot of digital marketing, as we know, marketing is a challenge. For physical marketing is a social norms and cultural barriers for them. Coming also, we have learned from Sati also that online marketing they did during COVID time. It helped them livelihood and food security. So I think these type of online marketing, they need a lot of representation on this, and that will come through this type of need-based training, that is digital and financial literacy, and confidence building and leadership agents, quality. We need to transform them from women agripreneurs to women farmers to women agripreneurs. So definitely things will come up.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vinita. My second question is for Mr. Jain and Mr. Bhatia. To introduce Mr. Bhatia, he is the director of the National Gender Resource Center at the Directorate of Agriculture in Odisha. So my question is around the government's key priorities to address social norms which are at the root of the inequality that is faced by women farmers, which prevents them from accessing agricultural inputs and schemes at the same measure as men farmers. So how does the government, address the social norms part of it? We know there are a range of schemes, specially meant for women farmers. There are also, the other schemes also have special provisions for women farmers. But getting the women to those schemes, how do you address that?
So women are the beneficiaries of each and every most of these schemes. We are trying to address various areas in agriculture. We have seen under the PM Kisan scheme, we have a lot of saturation as far as the women farmers are concerned. So by saturating these schemes also, that is one of the methods. The government is trying to have a large number of women beneficiaries, and then linking the data with other schemes also. So once we have the data with women beneficiaries, we can always try to reach out to them. In one of our extension training programs, like you were saying, we are having a gender sensitization module. So we are having in all the training programs at extension education institutes, we are having at least one module on gender sensitization, and the extension functionaries they are having the trainings, so that they are when these officials are themselves sensitized at the grassroots level, they will carry forward all these things. Besides, we have the gender sensitization model also. We are bringing out success stories also of women farmers. We are celebrating the Mahila Kisan Divas also. So that is bringing in focus the role of women in agriculture, the feminization of it, their issues, their concerns, and how we are addressing it. And direct communication is there between at the highest level and at the grassroots level. So there many these interventions, we are trying, through all the interventions, we are trying to address the concerns of women in agriculture. This is all I want to say.
Thank you, Bhatia. Now I have a question for Meghaji. Meghaji, if you could also please explain further how did Seva tackle any social resistance that they could have you would have probably encountered when you started with your movement for cooperating, cooperating women farmers or collectivizing them. What were the social norms that came in the way in both, not just resistance from them, but also from women themselves? How were you able to tackle it?
Yeah, so initially when we start working new area, there are challenges, of course. From the families, even the women, there are certain the areas where women are not allowed to go out of their houses. So initially we start organizing women. So organizing is the key. And when women organize, they feel that no, I'm not alone. And there are so many women with us. So organizing is a key. And of course, when we conduct the training programs, we also invite the family members and all. So when they start feeling that no, whatever women are going out, they are bringing something new, betterment for the family, for her main trade, agriculture or animal husbandry, then as Sakhi then was saying that, of course, there is a phase between started earning and women started organizing themselves. So that phase is a challenge. Even women get not only challenge from household but even the societies. When we were conducting training outside of the villages, going out for women was not allowed. So collectively they gathered the strength. So organizing is a key, which not only build the women's strength, but they also feel that sister to sister connection is there. There is whole lot of women is there behind me, and that provides strength. When there was an order for some produce, and there was a social some function where the entire society said that if you are not coming to the social event, your daughters will not be married in the society. But still at that time, women felt, the entire group of women was there. They felt that no income is main goal or agriculture is main, and they selected completing the order. And then when income came, the entire society, now they have even given an award to the lady to whom she has said that no, your daughter will not be married. So of course, organizing is a key which brings strength to women, and then the process of bringing benefit to the entire family is a key.
Thank you, Vedaji.
And just a second, with that, we have not only worked in India, but even the society like Afghanistan, when women also came out to sell their produce in open market, and even currently also they are working.
Thank you. Thank you, Vedaji. So with that, I think we can open the floor to some questions from the audience. If there are any, please come here and ask your question. Here, please come. And then we will come. Please take a minute.
Thank you. It was a wonderful session from all of you. My name is Pooja Murada. I'm from the Segu Foundation. In your talk, Sakhi, when आपकी बात में लिखा कि information barrier एक बहुत बड़ा challenge है महिलाओं के लिए. And since we have officials from the government, we have educational institutions, we have the NGO, to actually, to all the panelists, to bridge the information divide for a subject like this, which needs behavior change, which is a slow process, and it needs a continuous engagement, talk, messaging. How about using some very, very local mediums, which government also supports, like the community radio? Has any of your education institution or Seva, have you taken a step towards using that?
इसके लिए हमने हमारा जो वालिका रेडियो है वो शुरू किया है, तो उनके जरिए हम आजू बाजू का जो 50 किलोमीटर का एरिया होता है वहाँ पे वो हम जो कोई भी संदेशा होता है तो उनके जरिए भी हम पहुँचाने का काम करते हैं.
So she'll say that we have a Valinor radio, which is radio we are talking about. It around 50 kilometers the members can hear these programs. But the thing is now the people are using more WhatsApp groups and all. This is my addition to what Sakiban said, WhatsApp groups are commonly used channels, and we have developed the programs, not only the voice messages for the market, for the information, but we also produce the videos of the women who are doing good. And through that, in this WhatsApp group, we are spreading those messages. Even we also do podcast, Q&As, and we also bring the experts. In those programs, audio programs and video programs, we spread through these WhatsApp groups, which is easier medium, because as I said, we have Agewans leaders, and each leaders have their farmer members and their WhatsApp groups. So of course, radios are there, but of course, video and all is a process, long process. So these are the easy medium which we are using for communication.
Thank you so much.
So, can
Yes, please.
okay. So, as you were asking about the information, so community radio, of course, it's a local medium for local needs, whatever are the local concerns. So they are raising, and it has been successful. So many universities have their own community radio stations. So they are using it very well and very useful, because these community radios are of the women, by the women, for the women. So many such things are there. So women can directly connect with the women in the local radius. So that's a proven technology for information. And as we said that the voice messages are more impactful than any other literature or something, because considering the educational and literacy level, exposure level of the women, and of course the content has to be in local and very simple, because I believe that the language in which we communicate with women farmers needs to be customized rather than a general, because the exposure, awareness, perception level of men and women in the community is very different. So we cannot have a same type of message for both men and women in the community. It has to be customized to the understanding level of the women. Then information will definitely pass on, and it will be well understood and taken by the women farmers.
Just to add that there is a two-way, WhatsApp is a two-way communication. It's not only we are sending, but the feedback also comes in, which helps us to improve. And we have also initiated the Seva app, which is also two-way communication.
Under the mass media support to agriculture extension, we are using all the mediums which are currently available for these extension activities, whether it is the TV, radio, community centers, the community radios, the social media, and at the grassroots levels, the WhatsApp groups, like from the APMA also we are having, of the local farmers. So every medium is being utilized to reach out to the maximum people. And the focus of the government is already on the more use of digital technology, so that they can reach to more number of farmers on a real-time basis. So that is there. All the available technologies, all the available media are being utilized to reach out to the maximum number of people. And even in case of like FM regional stations, they are in the regional languages also. So the government is trying to address at every level through every technology which is available.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, please come for the question.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Neil from Symposia. So my question is that from the discussion, you've seen that women farmers not only face norm-based barriers, but also material barriers as well. So since we have stakeholders from the government and NGOs as well, what are some of the quick wins or low-hanging fruits which can be implemented, which can provide some long-lasting results to improve women farmers' conditions?
I think we as a nation all need to work collectively to address any issue. It is not specific to government, it is not specific to any community, it is not specific to any one organization. As a country, we need to focus on that. We have a vision at the highest level that has been already said by this in the discussion. We have the programs and schemes to address various areas, various issues for various sectors also. The need of the hour is to, like, they have given the example of, like, one of the members getting an access to Krishi Vigyan Kendras. We have around 731 Krishi Vigyan Kendras in India. So if one pen can change the life of many people. So if large number of the farmers, they are utilizing the already which are the capacities which are available. So how they can change the lives of other farmers, so that you can always see. So one example is already there. So like she got the training in Krishi Vigyan Kendra. So in the same manner, the others also need to be trained, and then a progressive farmer can train the other farmers also. That is one. That is one of the ways. There are a number of ways to address. We all need to work as a country together to solve any issues, or like all our honorable Prime Minister has said during G20 also, one nation, one we are as a whole world, we need to address the issues collectively.
So from us, we can say that organizing is a key which helps them to encourage strength to come out. And then of course, we are large, almost 50% of women are there. So government schemes are there. Maybe we can more aware members about that. Provide handholding support. As we are saying, we are making it women-friendly, understandable form, the schemes and all. We are using the WhatsApp group. We are trying to help them make with these schemes. And of course, some also pilots which are new in the areas that will also help, and then sit with the government. If that will help, we can make some policies or programs if we can make that easier for women to access. So maybe organizing is a key, and then making with the schemes and all. Thank you.
Just whatever others have said, see, women are sensitization of women or motivation of women does not work until family support and community support is there. So gender or overcoming the social cultural norms, barriers, breaking the glass ceiling requires the sensitization of the whole family. So whenever in my training programs also, I highlight that gender is a family approach, because the support of the family is very much important. And other than that, women's self-consentization is also very important. Until and unless the woman herself becomes convinced that yes, she has to change her current situation scenario, she will not get the courage to convince her family members or to fight with the community. So women's self-consentization, family support is I think key that will really work to overcome the social cultural barriers.
Thank you. We are kind of running short of time, so we'll take one more question, please. The gentleman at the back, I think you're placed to have this. Yeah, please come here and ask the question.
Good evening, my name is Krishna. I work with Action Food Production. Recently, we heard about the SEBA, the work on the insurance linked to the heat wave. This was in the national news, I think, this month only. Could you elaborate how it works? I think it is ICICI. Yeah, please elaborate. Thank you.
So earlier we had also tried with the weather insurance, but the weather stations are very far and the farmers, some farmers got support, some did not. So this year we tried the heat wave insurance. It's a parametric insurance, so when it touches the 45 degree and the urban and rural, those women start getting the benefit when it touches. So how many days it touches per day, women start getting income. And apart from that, we also added some support services which help them reduce the challenges of the heat wave. There are so many, the construction workers are there, the farmers are there, and how they can reduce their drudgery during these harsh temperatures. So we provided them trampoline shades or the water bags and this kind of support together with this insurance.
I think the trigger is 45 degrees, right?
So we decided based on the historical data, based on the district-wise, and accordingly we decided district-wise temperature, but average was 45.
Thank you so much. And now I would like to invite Martina to please felicitate the speakers. Yeah, Elizabeth also, please. First, I would like to invite Sakhiben. Sakhiben, please. May I invite Mr. Jain, please? Mr. Bhatia? Dr. Nita? And last but not the least, Megha ji. Thank you, Martina and Elizabeth. Now to conclude, I would like to invite Ms. Nozomi Hashimoto, who please Deputy Country Director, to please deliver the closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all the participants and of course the speakers for today. I really would like to appreciate that in this heat of 44, 45 degrees for all of you to come out, venture out and then join this session. I think it shows the extra commitment and willingness to discuss about these topics. So I really truly appreciate that. This session, we really tried to focus on what are the barriers for the access to the key inputs needed for the women in agriculture. But there is a lot of discourse. There's a lot of, even to just talk about the land ownership, we felt that that is going to be worth for a 3-day workshop. We cannot resolve everything in this 2-hour session. So we really try to focus to look into the soft side of the barriers. What is the mental barrier, what's the societal barrier? And then from this session, I think it was very clear that the barriers are twofold. One is with the women themselves. There was a lot of saying about they have to gain confidence. And I really have to say, we started in a wonderful manner with Sakiben. Look at her, how much confidence she shows, right? That's clearly demonstrating how women can be transformed and those women who can make changes. She's the great example. So, but it's very clear that it takes a lot of Sakibens to be able to bring that change into scale in India. And then of course, we also heard that on the other side, it's the understanding and acceptance of the family and the community. It was very entertaining and
eye-opening to me to hear that at the end, money speaks. Once the women remain unnamed, that's when people seem to be convinced. I'm sure there are many other different examples, different tricks, but that shows overall. And then, as all the speakers mentioned, I felt that there is no quick trick that brings in all these normative changes. It takes time. SEWA has been working since 1989. I'm sure the government has been working for even longer time. It takes a long time. It really requires consistent, continued, and collaborative efforts. And there was a lot of saying about handholding. It's not like one training will dramatically change people's ideas. But we give the training, we look and then see if the training resonated. Shall we give another chance? Shall we give another idea? So it looks like it's a lot of efforts at the grassroots level that can be organically connected to what the government provides as the public level. And that's how it seems like the society can experience the changing, and that means everybody in this room will be part of it, I hope. So thank you very much once again. It was really, truly an educating and eye-opening session for me, and thank you very much for everybody for joining. Last but not least, as usual, I really, truly appreciate the Norwegian Embassy for hosting and continually showing this great hospitality. As I understand it, there is a high tea prepared at the hall down there. So please continue. I saw that many questions couldn't be asked, so please continue this wonderful discussion as everybody enjoyed the tea. Thank you very much once again. And sorry, I forgot. We planned for a 3 session of symposia, so the third one we plan after the heat subsides. Maybe, let's see, but maybe in September or so, when the people come back from the vacation time, and we would like to focus about the climate change and the women in agriculture for that first session. Thank you very much once again. Have a nice evening. And we would like to have a group photo session, so if everybody would mind coming to the front, then we can line up with the Thank you very much.